Hi, I'm Slack, that's Tony, and welcome to Smog Vlog. Today we're going to be taking a look at 4 juices from Far by Element.
Cowbell. Oh, whoa there, Betsy. And welcome back in the room. Like we said, reviewing the Far range. On today's episode, we have Grape Vape and Candy Punch, and Pineapple Bliss and Strawberry Cupcake.
Yeah, they're available in a range of sizes, including in the 100ml bottles, which come in this awesome spray can, you know, before the TPD blocks it all. Let's just dive down and have a quick look at what's in the can. Right, Element's new Far range, e-liquid grape vape in this case, 75 VG+. Look at it go. Anyway, standard sort of warning disclaimer. E-liquid is not a beverage, don't drink it despite the fact it smells nummy. There's your ingredients, storage information, contact details, standard stuff going on there. There we go. Point 3, which is what I wanted. Non-functional graffiti spray can. Boom, we're in. So, inside we get one unicorn bottle, one bottle of grape vape, which I already know is one of my favourites of this range, one Far e-liquid sticker that's going to go on the wall behind us once I sort my shit out, 2 Far e-liquid stickers, and there are a bunch of cock rings in here. Now, I'm not sure if these were because I got it at the expo and put them in there myself, or whether they do just come in there, but you know, either way, cock ring-tastic. Look how pretty. Anyway, let's give this a vape. That's what it's all about.
And here we are back in the room again with that highly unusual unboxing that we never actually have on an e-juice review.
I know, but it's so cool, I just had to do it.
Right, on to now testing methodology that we use. As always, we will be testing with the iJust 2, with the iJust 2 tank, and a whole bunch of coils.
Yeah, that's the 0.3 ohm EC coil head. We're also going to be using a dripper as always. However, we have changed the dripper for this, all controversy. We're onto a Dogue 3 and yeah, it's running UK flat wire in there, so 25 gauge, which I really like. So yeah, we're doing it because I say so. Talking of testing methods, when we were at Vapors Expo in Birmingham, I was chatting to the manager of Element e-liquids, and yeah, he's just so on his products, including testing methods, which he gave me. You know, this is the test for diacetyl and a couple of other nasties, and yeah, needless to say, everything's clear because they take it seriously, which is really good. So, without further ado, let's dive into our first flavour. Now we're going to go with the one that I fell in love with, the first one I tried, which is grape vape. So, without further ado, let's hit it for science. Let's do this. Awesome clouds there. I'm just going to re-drip this for tone. You can have a go on this.
But we're going to have a talk about it first, because that's different. It's lovely grape vape flavour. It's just beautiful. I mean, I've tried a lot of grapes in my time. Lots of grapes. Especially enjoy the bottom grapes. But you have to make it weird.
Is that what, when we made eye contact?
Yeah. Yeah. Stop looking at me, bro. It's getting weird. Yeah, I've had a lot of grapes in my time, and the one problem that always seems to be at the forefront of all these flavours is a chemically taste, I find.
Yeah, that's true. Like, grape is a make or break. You know, we just did the mango vapes, custard and vanilla custard is one of those hit and miss things, and grape I think really is the other one. Oh, actually, and watermelon, but it's not about that. It's about the grape. Often a chemically one, and then you've got 2 attempts to go for a good grape. You can either go for a realistic grape, so it tastes like you're eating a grape, or you can do what Far have done here, and go for that candy grape. Now, it's brilliant. Like, the taste is just candy grape. You imagine American black grape chewing gum, you know, something like that. Proper American candy. It's just awesome. They've chose purple on the colourings of it, and it really suits that. You know, it just, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
Is it awesome?
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
So for science, let's do the swaps and see how they compare tank to dripper. On the tank, the same great flavour is there. It is turned down a notch slightly, as you would expect with this. However, not a lot. You know, it's all coming through. You're getting the full flavour, I think.
I think we're going to disagree here, because
Okay.
I think that's exactly the same flavour that I'm getting from the tank as well as the dripper.
Yeah, same flavour. I just think there's slightly more of it on the dripper, which you would
Yeah,
expect.
okay, maybe it's
You
turned
would
down
expect.
a
You-
touch.
Yeah, sometimes with these flavours you find that certain bits of them are turned down. Like if you had like a strawberry milkshake, sometimes the strawberry gets turned down in a tank, but not the milkshake part, if that makes sense. Here, all of the flavour is coming through. It's just not quite as strong, but again, you would expect that. That's why we run a middle of the road tank to test this on, you know.
Okay, so for this grape flavour and all the other three that we're going to be reviewing in this range, they are 75% plus VG.
Yeah, and we're running them at the 3 milligrams nicotine, which is our sort of preferred strength. And with it being that level of VG, you know, it's perfectly capable of wicking in tanks. You know, there's absolutely no issues here. The iJust tanks are good wickers, so, you know, we weren't expecting problems here, but it's just walking through it. It's a breeze, you know, and I've run it in a few other tanks and it works just great. And with the 3 milligram nicotine, you're also getting a bit of a throat hit. It's not a harsh throat hit. It's just a pleasant, just sort of subtle, noticeable throat hit.
Yeah.
So we'll see how, if that changes throughout the review, we'll mention it. If we don't mention it, it's going to be consistent throughout. Right, we've had a clean out, a re-wick, and a nice English cup of tea to refresh the palate. So yeah, on to the next one, which is Candy Punch. So without further ado, let's hit it.
Hit it.
Ah, it's good. Right, I'm re-gassed the dripper. The swap for science.
Swapping for science.
Yeah, again the tank's turned down, I think, just ever so slightly, but again all the flavour is coming through, which is nice. So flavour, you know, you've seen the clouds. You know, we don't even need to talk about them because you can see them, but the flavour you cannot see, so we have to try and express that in words. So yeah, it kind of tastes to me a bit like Nerds or Dweeb, something like that, where you just sort of mix all the flavours together. It's not as strong in your mouth, you know, because if you like take a handful of that kind of takes your face off. This is much more gentle, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely turned down in terms of flavour, which lends itself to an all-day vape, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a really nice flavour. Don't get us wrong. It's not like a poor flavour or anything. It's just that it's not as sickly sweet as it would be as if you were eating this much sweets, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that would be not great for a sort of like picking it up or going all day with it, you know. You'd just be like sick of it really quickly.
Yeah, some really sweet vapes I do get sick of quite quickly, and you just like great in a dripper for, you know, a cheeky hit or two, you know, but you couldn't just like, you know, do like an hour-long drive just doing that. You would want to throw up after a while. This, I think, you know, I'll be fine doing this all day. It's normal. Yeah, one thing I would like to say about this Candy Punch e-liquid is the smell of the liquid itself is not anywhere near as good as the taste of the vape. Now, often it's the other way round. You smell an e-liquid, it smells lovely, and that flavour's really turned down or just not as good. Here I find it's the other way round. It's got a very strong smell in the bottle, but it smells a little bit glue-like, a little bit almost chemically, and I was a little bit concerned about it. I thought, well, is this right? And then, you know, dripping it, taking it in the tank, yeah, it tastes gorgeous. So yeah, there's absolutely no worries there. So if you are in a vape shop and you are trying this out and think that smells disgusting, do give it a go. It tastes better than it smells.
Reading the website for the description of this flavour, they've listed it as sort of like a rainbow candy kind of affair. going on in the drippers and the tanks.
And while I'm not particularly getting that sort of rainbow candy thing as such, I do get certainly American candy out of this, you know, but it's not too sickly. I think they've done a really clever job with it. In the UK, we think rainbow candy, you think something like Opal Fruits or Starburst or whatever the fuck they're called now.
Skittles.
Or Skittles, which are something completely different. However, I'm not really getting any of those candies. It does taste like American pick and mix, you know, just like stick it all in a thing, go, but less sickly.
In conclusion, for this one, just think turned down nerds.
Right, it's time we clean up this, nom off the rest, and yeah, we'll be back in a moment.
Okay, so next up in the series, Pineapple Bliss.
Yeah, pineapple is a weird one. It's not really anything I've vaped before. It's not anything I've thought about vaping, to be honest. But, you know, for science, we'll give it a go. Let's do that. That is awesome. So it's kind of a bit like Lilt, but Lilt with an American candy shop twist again. You know, there seems to be that candy shop theme running throughout them, which is awesome. I love American candy, so it is definitely a winner for me.
Oh, we're swapping for science.
Swapping for science.
For science.
Yeah, again, the pineapple's coming strong, really.
Words?
Words, yes, the pineapple words. The pineapple's coming through really strong on the tank as well. It's not turned down as much as the other flavours have been.
Beautiful, just like you said, Lilt. Lilt.
Yeah, but with a candy twist still.
Yeah, I can see the candy twist. I'm just focusing on the Lilt sort of aspect of it.
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
I'm so surprised. I mean, yeah, pineapple is not on my radar at all as a flavour profile that I would be interested in trying. It wasn't one that I was looking forward to trying in this range either, I'll be honest with you. And yeah, pleasantly surprised. Oh, yeah, it's just lovely. Just see the loveliness.
So, according to the website for this Pineapple Bliss, it also incorporates berries and mango.
Yeah, while I'm not sort of getting them straight away, now I've been told it, I guess the berries and mango is what's giving it that sort of candy shop affair. While they're not, you know, candies, that is actually fruit, it does lend itself to just a sort of sweety kind of taste. But yeah, the overpowering thing there is the pineapple, and yeah, surprisingly awesome. Right, time for the last clean up and change out, which we're going to do now, and we'll be back in a minute with Strawberry Cupcake.
And here we are with the last in the series that we've got for this, which is Strawberry Cupcake. Now, interesting side note, the first time that I cleaned this tank out and filled it with Strawberry Cupcake, I was still getting the previous flavour, pineapple, so we had to give this one a proper fucking cleaning, scrub it up, and stick a whole new coil in there again, because we just contaminated the previous coil with pineapple. Now,
yeah, I mean that's not a bad thing. We want the strong flavours sometimes, and I really like that pineapple. So you know, I'll forgive it. I will definitely forgive it. But it's about the Strawberry Cupcake, so once more for science. Oh, I've absolutely nailed it. I mean, it's just really creamy strawberry cupcake and not too sickly, at least not on the first couple of hits. I'm loving that.
again, a lovely... What's the best way to describe it? It's good. You're getting the flavour from it, but it is not sort of like in your face sort of flavour. It's just
turned down enough to be an all-day vape.
Beautiful.
They just, yeah, I mean, you get full flavour, but without it being sickly.
So far, I mean, there's not a bad one in this range.
Yeah, again, this one's turned down slightly on the tank. But the flavour is still there, it's still full, it's still lovely.
Absolutely, yeah. For this one, definitely the drip is all about the dripper. The dripper is where the flavour's at.
Yeah, so if you imagine a pink iced cupcake, that is what you're vaping here. They've just absolutely nailed it. You know, the cake's not too strong. It's nice and moist cake, like a moist cake. I like saying moist. Moist. Just one more time, you know. And yeah, I love it. I love it. I just want to lick it. Sorry, I'm getting carried away here. Yeah, really nice flavour.
Yeah, so when I first sort of like started vaping this, I was like, hold on, there's something different there. The strawberry's not quite right. And reading the website actually says it was a vanilla cake with the sort of like strawberry icing on the top.
Yeah, when I smelt the bottle, I just smelt sort of ripe strawberry, you know, that sort of smell. And there's a little something else there, not sure. But the second you take a hit on the dripper, it is just like taking a bite into a really lovely cupcake. Sometimes I find with cake flavours, they can be a little bit on the dry side, you know. They also sort of introduce a bit more of a harsh throat hit. This one's really smooth on both tank and dripper. It's just a lovely, easy vape. Yeah, and this is another one that vapes a lot better than it smells in the bottle. It smells good in the bottle, it vapes even better. Right, okay, so that was the 4 from Far that we're doing. Quick shout out to Regina Spectre if anyone gets that reference. Anyway, the one that was missing from here was Neon Green Slushy. Now, the flavour for that is exactly Neon Green Slushy. You know, we tried it at the Vapors Expo and it just does what it says on the tin. It's supposed to be lime. I'm not a massive fan of lime, like key lime I'm not a fan of. But I really liked the Neon Green Slushy. You just taste neon green. It's really good. Again, lending itself to that American candy store sort of flavour. Now, over here in the UK, I've only seen this in the 75% plus VG sort of mixes, but on the American website it says that you can get it in either a 50-50 mix or a 70 plus mix, which is quite cool. I like those options. It also comes in a range of nicotine levels.
So on the website it states for the 50-50 range the nic levels are 0, 3, 6, 12 and 18, but for the range that we've been vaping, the 75 VG sort of scenario is available in 0, 3 and 6.
Yeah, it's sort of designed for drippers really, all those sort of high power devices, so you not want to go be doing 18 milligram nicotine and buzzing off that. So the 50-50 range comes in 10 and 20ml bottles, whereas the 75 plus that we've been doing comes in 20ml little glass bottles or the big 100ml bottles you saw us open earlier. Yeah, so this range, it's made in Florida by Element, and yeah, they've done a really good job with it. They use really high class ingredients, you know, American nicotine. It's all pre-steeped. It is what you'd expect from a premium juice and a great company like Element. Right, okay, as we're reviewing the range, we've got to ask the question, Tone, what's your favourite?
I don't think I could put it down to one. I mean, all 4 that we've done, lovely. Lovely. You?
Well, I'm really surprised by the pineapple. I mean, yeah, all 4 are good, but the pineapple I wasn't really expecting much from, and that was really good. But I think if I had to pick a favourite, I would definitely go for grape vape. I really like the sort of candy grape sort of flavour, and it's something I like anyway, and they've done it really well. They've done them all really well, but yeah, that one's my one. Because science.
Science.
Yeah, so we'd like to thank Element for hooking us up with some samples, also spending some time with us at Vapors Expo. If you're ever at an expo and Element are there, do go look them up. Their stuff is amazing. Yeah, the normal Element range, the Tonics range, and now the Far range, you know, they're just some awesome e-juices from some really on-the-ball guys. And not only that, you know, that they give us the test results to show that, look, we test our shit, we make sure it's good for you guys, you know, and yeah, a whole book to show all the testing. Yeah, brilliant. So yeah, thank you Element, and you've done a really good
Okay guys, so that about wraps it up for this e-juice review for Element and the Far range. Hope you like what you're seeing. If you do, please drop us a like and do the whole subscribe thing, because it helps us out immensely. Also, if you'd be so kind, follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, because we are quite
chatty. Yeah, and if you've got any questions or comments about these e-juices or our review here, just hit us up in the comments below or find us on the social media. But for now, thanks for watching Smog Vlog.
grape vape and candy
Pandy cunt.
and strawberry.
Let's just dive down and have a quick look at what's in the can.
Is it a cow?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm done with the can.
Don't know why there's an O there. I hope this is not zero nicotine. That is not what I wanted.
As always, I've lost it. Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
Maximum effort.
Go
What the
on.
fuck was I saying?
You've had a lot of grapes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We have to introduce this one as Donkey Punch. Candy Punch.
Why?
Because Donkey Punch is funny.
What the fuck?
Isn't it a sex move when you knock someone on the back of the head as they're about to orgasm? Is that what Donkey Punch
I
is?
don't know.
Pretty sure that either that or it's where you put your fist behind their head and then jab your thumb up their arse. They rear back and knock themselves out.
Fucking gooch all over again.
Jesus, I feel like I'm educating young, corrupting an innocent or something, you know?
You're so worldly.
Yeah, something like that.
Wasn't it you that educated me on Arabian goggles?
Probably. Kind of takes your face off. This is much more gentle, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you've got any questions about these e-juices, or yeah, and if you've got any questions or comments about these e-juices, fucking English. Yeah, and if you've got any questions or comments, I can't get my mouth around it. One more time. Come on.